Hello, beautiful people. Happy Friday. I'm happy to be here with you. I decided to hop on here as going over the list of things that I said that I wanted to speak about different things, and I asked you guys to vote and see which things spoke to you the most. We got some more votes. It was even for a while, but it looks like karmic cords was the first thing. And I was gonna do this like planned out thing and do like a couple like actual maybe like activations or course, and I am still going to do that in the future. But for this, I felt like doing a single live that I can post again too in the group for you guys would be what needed to happen. And I was feeling it now. And so I didn't give you guys any warning, and here I am. And it's okay because I'm just gonna post it in the group so you can watch it whenever you want. You can go back to it whenever you want. So what we're gonna do is talk a little bit about karmic cords. I'll tell you a little bit about my experience with them and how it's affected me in my life and how I've shifted and changed it. And then at the end, we're actually gonna do some karmic cord cutting. So if that's something that sounds like it resonates with you, then please continue to watch to the end. So regular cords are like energetic attachments that we have, that we form with people, places, things, situations. It can be habits. And you can basically envision it, or the way I like to envision it is like a light of energy. Sometimes they like to connect into our energy centers, so they can connect in some of the chakra areas, whether that's in your root, your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart space, your throat, your third eye, or your crown. And essentially that energy connection, I mean, cords are connecting all the time with people, places, and things. And we can constantly disconnect ourselves from those energy sources. We don't have to stay connected to anything. The only thing that we are connected to ultimately and infinitely is our highest self, our God self, the divine, right? Everything else can be cut away or can be dissolved away. And actually, it's really healthy to do that on a daily basis, especially if you're in a relationship or you're in situations where you're just constantly around people that you're exchanging that energy with. It's like a reset, and you're returning yourself back to your original state. It's just a nice like reset button. And cords that are supposed to reconnect are always going to reconnect. And I tell people that because I've had a lot of people ask me, they're like scared to cut a cord because they're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to cut this person out of my life. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're cutting that person out of your life. You're just, like I said, like hitting the reset button, and the energies and the cords that are intended to reconnect will reconnect themselves. It'll align that way. You don't have to do anything. It's gonna reconnect, especially if you're like having sexual relations with somebody, or it's like a family member. Like those cords just like kind of know where to plug and play, and they come in and they fit wherever they're supposed to. Sorry, I have little plant bugs flying around me. They've been going for a minute now. And so these cords that are connected, they can be formed through speaking certain things, like words. Words are spelling, right? They're spells. And so we connect to these people, places, and things, and form cords and attachments through what we say, through our conscious thinking, through our unconscious thinking, our subconscious, vows, contracts, promises, oaths, and like I said before, sexual connection. So these are all ways that cords kind of attach and form to us. And these cords can be in this life, here right now. And then what I find greatly, especially with karmic cords, is that they can carry in from parallel lives in different spaces where we existed, where our energy was living. And typically the karmic ones is a lesson attached to it. And once we're able to kind of pinpoint what that lesson is usually when it can be released. So like karma's defined, I guess you could say, technically as a destiny or fate as effect from a cause. So usually it's some type of choice or action that happened, and you decide to carry that energy with you, or the effect is that your energy is being carried with you from that cause, from that action or that choice that you made, right? And like I said, it can be conscious or unconscious. It can be verbal vows. It can be, us attaching through our thoughts to different things. And so karmic cords, I found for myself, hi Liv, can keep us connected. They can trap us into a negative behavior. This has been my experience where there's been certain karmic cords that I've been attached to, and it's like just perpetuated this cycle for me. And I'm like, it feels like I hit a wall, and I'm like, I'm so ready to be past this, and I don't understand why I'm not past this yet and why this keeps popping up. And typically when that happens for me, it's because I am like channeling that energy in from another life and another space that I'm just like, there's still this cord that's holding on, and I have to like acknowledge it and see it. And typically what I found for me, when I see that space and where it's coming from in that parallel life, sometimes it's like picturing the life or picturing the experience, it just loses power. It's like it just wants to be seen, and then the power, it starts to dissipate. And I notice that the pattern is not as incessant as it was before, where it just like keeps coming at me strong, and I can't figure out what it is. So like I said, a way to identify these cords is by noticing what lessons are continuously popping up for you. So when it's the same ones over and over again, there's something with this. This is, like I said, it's incessant. I'm hitting a wall with it. I see you, lesson, and I'm like working on acknowledging you, but you just seem like you're not letting go and giving any release. This is typically because it can be karmic or have a debt attached to it. And I use these words lightly because for lack of better terms, but it's kind of like a karmic debt that you owe, right? Where there is some type of cause. And so therefore it created this energy ball or this cord, right? And then it kept carrying with you until you can dissolve it. So for me specifically, gosh, I've had so many karmic debts and karmic cords that I've been dealing with in this life, and I'll just like share a couple of them with you. One was the most recent one that I dealt with, actually, that Liv helped me deal with. Past life regressions are really, really great to do for clearing these karmic cords. And if you can find somebody to work with, you can do them on your own, but I would just caution that if you are dealing with things that are have to do with like karma or like deep dark shadows, that there's probably going to be a lot of emotion and release surrounding that. So to have a strong support system, or even, people that are spiritually fit in your life, or guides, or anybody that you trust to like talk to, or programs that you do, any place that you can kind of open up, because you don't want to sit with that stuff by yourself. It can be really heavy, and you don't have to do this alone. That's the point of us all existing and being here for each other and supporting each other, is because that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to connect and share our experiences and all of that. So if you're going to go down this route, just be cautioned. I don't even want to say caution, but yeah, like caution that have someone strong that you can like reach out to and talk to if things get heavy. So anyway, Liv helped me with this one karmic cord that was associated with a past life of mine, where I was actually blocking ancestral lineage, like my ancestors that I should look to for guidance, wisdom, magic, just all types of channeled information, right? And I was just completely blocking it. And it's funny because there's several points in my life where they were like attempting to peek up and like come through and be like, hey, like, what's up? And I acknowledged them for like a moment, a millisecond, and then I just had this block against it. And I wanted to be interested in it. It's like I knew that they're a part of me, and I wanted to so much more than anything to like make it a part of my life. And I didn't at the time understand why those blocks were coming up for me. Until I did this past life regression, where I realized that I had a life in this time of being fully embodied with these, ancestors, that like I was them, I was a part of them, like physically, and my energy was there. And it was traumatic. It was a traumatic life. There was so much pain and sorrow attached to it. And this particular life too was actually connected some of you may have heard me speak about this before when I went on a live with Liv. But it was attached to so many other things in my life. It was corded with my masculine relationships. It was corded with spiritual children, just having children in general in this life. I had like this huge block against it, and I couldn't figure out why or what, was blocked up against it. And also my relationship with my mother. So it was like all these intense, heavy hitter things. And just by going to that one past life, it was able to unravel and unweave all these karmic debts and karmic cords that I had accumulated in just this one life. And the release was like insane, right? Because things just started moving and kind of coming through as soon as I was able to clear that energy. So there's many ways that you can release these karmic cords. Like I said, past life regressions is a great way to do it. Working with an energy healer is a great way to do it. I can help do it and facilitate these things. Like I said, we're going to do one at the end of this so that you guys can kind of experience. It'll just be like a karmic cord meditation, not necessarily a past life regression, because we're going to be doing it on a group level and with everybody, but you can definitely personalize it and go through this meditation and clear, or at least bring acknowledgement to what types of cords you should be looking at. Sometimes they're a little bit tougher and require further movement. Sometimes you have to look at them a few times, but the important part is like I said, seeing them and sitting with them so that they can begin to unravel. So past life regressions, working with an energy healer to move these karmic cords, visualization meditations, like I said, and you can find some of these meditations too on YouTube. I mean, if you feel called to that, I use YouTube as a tool in my life. I use it for my hypnosis. At night, I listen to hypnosis when I'm going to sleep because it really, works on the subconscious mind. And there's things that I know need to be moved throughout my subconscious. And I feel that hypnosis is a really great way to get those things moving, just on that level, right? Because you don't even have to think about it. You're just reprogramming those, subconscious thoughts that just keep rolling on replay in your head that you're not even aware of. So when I use YouTube though, I go through and I really am trying to find something that resonates with me. And sometimes, before I fall asleep, I will listen to something for a little bit. And then if I'm not vibing it, I'll go through and change until I find something else that I like. I have a few specific people that record that I really enjoy listening to. So if anybody wants any suggestions with that, I'm more than happy to share with you my resources and what I use and who I use. But yeah, so you can find karmic cord meditations on YouTube. If you could literally just Google search, releasing karmic cords or something along those lines. And like I said, just kind of go through and use your intuition to guide you to find something that feels right to you. And this is going to be on an individual level. Everybody works through this stuff in different ways. So you have to really go with what feels right to you. And if that's not something that feels right to you and you feel like you need to go work with somebody and, a direct person, do that. Do whatever you feel called to, because that's what's going to give you the most movement with your karmic cords. So like I said too, using somebody to be there to support. So if you are going to move karmic cords through using YouTube as a tool, make sure that you at least have somebody that you can talk to, that you feel is spiritually fit, that you can vent and that can hold space for you, because that's very important. Also requesting if that space is able to be held, because sometimes people are not always in the space to receive. And so it's just general courtesy to ask, are you in this space to hear something heavy from me? And then that person can be fully present and prepared for you to hold that space. And it feels nice that way. And then a ritual releasing ceremony. Oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful way to release cords. Doing it either, you can do it at any point in your life, but during a full moon or during a new moon, or just, like I said, in celebration of the day. And this can be something as simple as writing whatever your karmic cord is on a piece of paper and lighting it on fire and releasing it. Or maybe you have a bonfire and it's a nice little get together, a gathering with friends. And then, everybody releases something and puts it in the fire, and you can be releasing your karmic cords. it doesn't have to be fire. It could be candle gazing meditation, or, it can just be taking a ritual bath, or maybe you have oils and herbs that you put in your bath, crystals surrounding it, candles lit. Any one of these ways can be great ways to hold a sort of sacred space for you to be able to release whatever karmic cords are coming up for you. So I hope that was good information for you all. And if anybody has any questions further into cords or karmic cords, please don't hesitate to reach out. I actually have a recorded meditation that's just for releasing regular cords, and it's something, if you'd be interested in it, you can reach out to me. It goes through each of the chakras, and it, like I said, in general, reset and releasing the cords from any person, place, or thing that you may be attached to. So with that, I feel like I was fumbling all over my words, and I apologize for that. But the information is there. It's all there. I've just been in a space of a lot of cleansing and clearing with myself lately. So I still have energies and things that I'm like pulling through and that I'm really looking at within myself. That's why I also haven't been as active or as prominent as I have been when I first started this group. But I promise you it will all pick up again. Everybody has and needs their space for healing and for the things that they have to do. And I appreciate you guys all still being here in this space, sharing space. I'm really grateful for each and every single one of you. So we're gonna set the space now and prepare ourselves and get into a quiet space as we get ready to think about clearing the karmic cords in our life, in our past lives, and every single place that our energy may have been left or taken to. I invite you to take a deep breath in with me. And release as you're just settling into the space. I'm going to open this space with a light language blessing. I'm going to intend that everybody that is here right now is meant to be here and meant to receive this healing and guidance and channeled energy to help them move through whatever karmic cords are holding them back right now in their life. In whatever places that they're ready to shift and move, transform, and grow. Hinako kolia haratruku ayadare gadria hanako girako toshono hole bria hako ayaraka antake okosho durwa heya kalkoi nishtayaro hoya mahalako ubria hake anako yala heria troko siti ashanowa brera konde kanare karia tre silu hoya mesh no koya bre anaka ortre hiala hayoru ko tra santa kayam ko yerkia hariana ka hui Besho doruiana hea hoia ka anna ku pria heli hoko andria hata sanda ayu ku edria hatu ku uiana aya to ushata aya ku upria ta anto ku edria hoia. Hurria tariana ku uima mahe oria to ku ushati yara ku ya habli huria ta ka anna rukuta sanda hajuia te loku ya mapu iori ka te edra ku nasati kia hauia tari hiano ku shutar hui. Korea traiano korea treshetia ngoya ba a korea ko isite euro ko trisi ko umbarka ay trusho hoyana ni higier ko ibriana ko tatarasihia. I seal this space with a golden light. And I wrap whoever's in this sacred space in this golden bubble for protection. Seal all of the cracks, allowing the auric field to be pure and cleansed and clear. As we begin to feel through the energy field at where there might be attachments or cords that are hanging on. Kiano ko area tara wayana na hayo ko biyashana kala ko area tara yana na ke hello hoyariana shato ko I. We move through each one of the energy centers in the body, starting with the root, connecting our root core, our center, all the way down to Mother Earth, to Gaia, wrapping our cords around her Earth center to ground us and center us. We clear each one of the karmic cords that may be connected in everyone that is watching and that is sharing this space, either now or later. And we clear those karmic cords that may be attached to the root center. Taking a deep breath in through that root space and releasing. Allowing that center to be nice and bright and red and filled with energy, balanced and clear. Moving our way up to the sacral space. This can be a strong space where we attached cords, because this is where our relationship development is. And since we thrive off connection, people can be some of the strongest cords that we hold. Hiolo hoya kadna satatia lo hoya bejana haguya kuala muguai bariata ki in the kurwa handa leheguai aratasi. We notice if we have any energy being held through karmic cords in this sacral space. And we allow them to begin to dissolve, bringing awareness and notice to them. Maybe there's a direct person, place, or thing in your mind associated with some of these cords that you're holding. Maybe it's nothing right now. Maybe you just feel energy in this space that's being held, an ickiness that wants to move, a heaviness, a weight. And just allow that space to move and transform as you're bringing awareness into that energy center, not judging it, but just holding the space and allowing it to move in whatever ways it needs to as it shifts. Hui hana hoale he o taki aongwea ku ueperea ku otosukuia na ke yaloko o karia hana kuishi tiana hua belia haku ore pa ana kaya to ku tiana kai hui re tia yatra. Taking a deep breath into that space, exhaling and releasing it all the way out. Seeing that sacral space filled with a nice, bright, light, orange energy. Connecting with the root, filling your whole lower chakra space. And then we move up to the solar plexus, Manipura. This is where we can hold karmic cords of our old identities, masks, people that we used to be, things that served us at a point but no longer serve us in our energy space and where we're at currently in life and in our journey. Holding the space for those old identities. Giving gratitude and thanks for them, for how they once served you and how they helped to add to who you are today, right now, in this very moment. See them for what they really are and know that it's okay. Hold no judgment in this space for having those different identities. We evolve millions and millions of times, constantly changing and transmuting our energies into shift into new states of being. We are everything and everything is us. So whatever identities that you once had, it's okay to let them go now at this point and move to different parts of your journey. We see these cords and we allow them to dissolve and dissipate and move and transform and change. We breathe into this solar plexus space. And we exhale and release. Bringing a nice, light, yellow, golden energy into that space. Connecting all our lower chakras, moving all the way up and into the heart space. Anahata. Our compassion, our love. Again, this also connects with relationships and peoples a lot of time in our life. And so this one can be a heavy one that can hold on to a lot of karmic cords. Breathe into this space. Sit with the cords and the connections that you've had in this space. To all the people, to all the lives, to all the situations. Hania huliokoya hana hariatrosa te aishinikiara ko umvadriaya. Giano ko oliari katresini ocean habria katrako anahalehiya yahiya. Nehoro triasana alivio koya leka amtre otrosatakan kieshano ko eliviare kindini kitria hatra. Anaka alukoria hatro suko ojadria omonohoyadri. Hold your hands open in a receiving mode to the universe, showing that you're ready to let go of the karmic cords that you're holding there in your heart space, and you're ready and open for new experiences and people and things to come into your life, into your new now. Breathing into your heart space and then releasing, allowing this heart space to fill up with a nice light pink energy as you connect all your lower chakras, moving all the way up through, connecting the heart space, and then moving into the throat. What stories are you still connected to? Whether that's in this life or any other life, any other space that your energy existed, what old stories don't serve you anymore? What lies have you been telling yourself that were maybe once truth, but no longer are relevant to you in your life and to your present now? We look in this space and we observe where the energy may feel stuck or tight or thick. And we just hold space for it without judgment. We sit with it, and by observing it, we know that movement has already begun to take place, because as the observer, we catalyze change. So just allow it to move and shift in whatever ways it feels like it needs to, as you just observe. Watch it in this space. Taking a deep breath into the throat space. Exhaling and releasing. Filling that with a nice light crystal blue energy. Connecting all the way from the root, all the way up through your channel, into the throat space, and moving up into the third eye center, our pineal gland, our extra eye, our seeing eye, our internal knowing, our intuition, our imaginations. Because this space carries our internal and universal and all-knowing of everything, we can especially hold heavy karmic cords here, because we are connecting to all the lives that have ever existed, all the energy spaces we've ever been in, infinitely, most actively in this space. And some of those connections and some of those lessons and some of those experiences that we've had, they helped us. We learned from them. We could see where we could grow and shift and change. But they're no longer a part of our story and who we are now. And so we intend for a release from this third eye space. Freedom for new connections, new stories, new lives, new experiences, new connections. Take a deep breath into the third eye space. Release. Filling it with a deep indigo, blue purple. Connecting all the lower chakras from the bottom all the way up and through. And then finally coming up into our 1,000-petal lotus, our crown chakra area, our connection with the divine, our highest self, our infinite selves, our connection to everything, our oneness, our unity. Where have we been holding on tightly to what no longer serves us? What karmic cords are there that we obsess over in our subconscious, that we just keep hitting a wall against, and we want to clear and move so that we can have a clear connection to the divine? Gojadai ala ko oyan trike e per kuto suku e le her ko andra ya hada ko okeli ko umpati katar kata setik e ko taka ala ko per katar ko andra ke tali katar ko shata kaingar katar uli andra katar undra tar stata ka ala ko tar andra ka ala undra katar ka sitter utra shata li do ko tara ye kotor ko andra katar stata ka ala ko per katar ka dan ko ta stata ka tar ko tar shata ki andra ko tar ambar katar li ato ko andra tar kata stata ka nan taka do tor katar shanta ka ala ko katar ka ante katar ko to undra ki la ko tar ka angu tar katar stata ka katar ko asha tar ka ambar ka ole katar ka andra katar katar so to ko ala katar katar ko tar katar andra katar so to ko tar bar ko tar ka nan katar to ka katar ko tar ko ta sit ka tara. Take a deep breath into your crown space. Release. Seeing that divine rainbow-like connection. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, releasing. Feeling how clear your energy channel may feel. Maybe there's still some cords that are holding on karmically and there's more work that needs to be done. But being in this space will help to start bring awareness to those spaces that need to be seen and looked at, where we're holding on to, where we keep hitting walls, to catalyze growth and transformation within our being. Know that a shift has already begun taking place. Believe that. When we close up this space, in this area, we seal everything that happened here in this sacred, safe space. And when you're ready, you can come back and close your eyes, open your eyes from being closed. And so it is. So if anybody needs to reach out and ask any questions, I'm here, I'm available. If you had any type of extreme movement and you want to talk about it, I'm here, I'm available. And I'm wishing you all a great rest of your weekend. Like I said, I'm going to repost this in this space so that you can rewatch it at any time. The energies are transferable and carry through in any time and space whenever you're willing and ready to receive it. Thank you so much for being a part of this space with me, and I'll be checking in here with you guys even more and soon. Ciao.